Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Dennis Sadegunloye. The headlines. President Tinubu rejigs list of nominees for Southeast Development Commission. Board proposes Dr. Emeka Nwogu as chairman. Kano Durbar makes UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. And Ghana holds presidential elections. President Bola Tinubu has rejigged his list of nominees for the Southeast Development Commission Board, replacing the initial chairman, Emeka Atuma, with Dr. Emeka Nwogu. In a statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President replaced all the 3 executive directors initially nominated and named 2 additional executive directors. President Tinubu also removed one of the board members, Donatus Eina Wankpa. However, Mark Okoye retains his position as the Commission's Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer on the 16-member board, one more member than the initial board. The new Executive Director for Finance is Stanley Ohajuruka, who replaces Anthony Ugbo on the first list. Toby Okechukwu is the new Executive Director of Projects. He replaces Obinna Obiekwehi. Chief Sylvester Okonkwo is now the Executive Director of Corporate Services, replacing Dr. Daniel Ikechukwu Uguja. The 2 nominated Executive Directors without portfolio are Chidi Icheazu and Dr. Clifford Ogbede. The Presidents retained Ogochukwu Agbala Oke Ezenwa, Chief Hyacinth Ikpo, Ifeanyi Agu, Nasiru Usman, and Hama Adama Ali Kumo. The other nominees retained are Edward David Onoja, Ururu Kufri Inima, and Chief Joke Adebayo Chukuma. All the nominations are subject to Senate confirmation. President Tinubu expects the new nominees as pioneers to use their wealth of experience and expertise to actualize the Commission's mandate and develop the Southeast region. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has commended the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for educating Nigerians on the present tax reforms. The minister was speaking at the 2024 NIPR Annual Public Lecture held in Kaduna. He said the lecture theme, Tax Reforms, the Role of Public Relations in Fostering Constructive Dialogue for National Economic Renaissance, highlights the place of constructive dialogue as a vital pillar of Nigeria's democracy.
Society advances by mutually respectful engagement, where we give voice to diverse opinions and respect those who we disagree with. We will certainly not always agree on all issues, perhaps not even on most issues, but we will always be guided by the fact that things that unite us, that is our common humanity, our nationhood, and our sense of patriotism, our collective vision for Nigeria that works for all, will always be more important and more meaningful than the differences of age, of religion, of region, ideology, gender, culture, or even social class.
Polls opened as early as 7 o'clock in the morning.
Although there was no restriction of movement, the streets of Accra were scanty as the citizens trooped to the various voting centers to cast their ballots for the next president of Ghana. As at the time, the ECOWAS election observation team, led by former Vice President of Nigeria, Namadi Sambo, arrived at the Accra Municipal Town Arena, the process was already in full swing, a clear sign of the readiness of the people to participate in the exercise.
No pressure, everybody is going one by one, how you have to go. I came here around 3 a.m. to wait for my time to go home. That's why I'm here to do my voting.
I came in around 5 a.m. By 7, they were all set and voting has started.
The team of ECOWAS Observation Mission, who were joined by the Nigerian Acting High Commissioner to Ghana, Dayod Adioye, went to several other voting centers in the capital city to interact with election officials, voters, and other international observers.
They started at exactly 7 o'clock, and voting went ahead smoothly, and in all the voting stations that we have visited, everything is going on fine, peacefully, and in fact, it was interesting. In the second station we went, they even provided seats for the voters.
With a functional situation room, ECOWAS Observation Mission keep track of reports from its observers from across the 16 regions in the country. Ghana operates simple majority system of voting. A candidate is required to score more than 50% of the vote to be declared winner. And at the end of collation, if no candidate scores that, the election goes into a runoff between the two candidates with the highest number of votes. Although there are 10 other candidates in this election, the contest is mainly between incumbent Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia and former President John Mahama. From Accra, Ghana, Kelvin Ewunoye, NTA News.
And Kelvin joins me now live from Accra, Ghana, to give us more updates on how the process has gone so far. Hello again, Kelvin. We spoke just about 30 minutes ago. Just give us any further updates on the process. How's it gone throughout the day?
Yes, Dennis, it's been a long day here in Accra, Ghana.
Now, we're on collation, counting of votes. What's the state of play? Are we counting the votes at the present time? As the polling commenced? The counting of the votes has commenced?
Yes, the process of counting has commenced across the... Next where we are, they rounded up, election has been rounded up here, so we are moving now after this point to another issue of unexpected occurrences. Election has been smooth from morning to this point. To the second stage of this election, it's been smooth all the way.
And Kelvin, is there anything exceptional, shall we say, that you've observed during the process that other African countries could potentially learn from?
Yes, I think one thing the counting and sorting of ballots, actually, because, we're used to a situation where people would vote and wait around the polling center to see their votes counted. Something like that. People voted and went home. They left their agents behind, trusting that they will present their party. You won't find other voters. That was very interesting for me.
All right, Kelvin, your line is a bit unstable, but we got a few of the points that you make there, and certainly we'll get back to you going forward into the counting process proper. Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Now, almost all the lawmakers from South Korea's ruling party walked out of the chamber to boycott an impeachment vote against President Yoon Suk-yeol, as a motion by the lawmakers failed. And Burkina Faso's ruling military leader Ibrahim Traoré dismisses the country's prime minister and dissolves government. Charles Arthur brings us details.
South Korea's parliament on Saturday failed to pass President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment motion, as most of the lawmakers of the ruling People Power Party refused to vote on it. After voting against a bill to investigate scandals involving Yoon's wife, most of the 108 ruling party lawmakers left the parliament hall. One ruling party lawmaker remained at the hall and 2 came back after leaving. Of the 300 National Assembly lawmakers, 198 voted for the bill on the special prosecutor investigation of the First Lady, with 102 against 8. At least 2/3 of the lawmakers need to vote yes to pass the bill in a revote. Lawmakers of the opposition parties, including the main Liberal Democratic Party, named the ruling party lawmakers one by one in unison, calling on them to come back and cast ballots. More than 200 lawmakers are required to vote yes to pass the impeachment motion.
국민의힘 의원들이시여.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Woo Won-shik, ended the voting process about 3 hours after waiting for the ruling party lawmakers, announcing the impeachment motion as scrapped on lack of quorum. Elsewhere, Burkina Faso's ruling military leader, Ibrahim Traoré, has dismissed the country's Prime Minister, Apollinaire Joachim Guillaume de Tembela, who had served as head of 3 successful governments surviving multiple reshuffles. Reports say no official reason has been given for his removal. Guillaume de Tembela was appointed Prime Minister in October 2022 following the coup that brought Ibrahim Traoré to power. The presidential decree announced that the Prime Minister's official functions are terminated, stating that members of the dissolved government would continue handling ongoing matters until a new government is formed. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is in Paris to meet President Emmanuel Macron and to also witness the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral. Here again is Charles Alpha with details.
This is Donald Trump's first international trip as president-elect, where he joined other world leaders and dignitaries in Paris for the celebration of the renovation of Notre Dame Cathedral after a devastating fire in 2019. Trump wrote when he accepted the invitation that French President Emmanuel Macron had done a wonderful job ensuring that Notre Dame has been restored to its full level of glory. President Macron, who has had an unstable relationship with Donald Trump, has made a point of cultivating a relationship with the president-elect since he defeated Vice President Kamala Harris last month. His office nonetheless played down the significance of the invitation, saying that other politicians who do not currently hold office had been invited as well. President Joe Biden was invited as well, but will not attend, says White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, citing a scheduling conflict, and say that the First Lady Jill Biden will instead represent the U.S. Trump's visit to France comes as Macron and other European leaders are trying to cultivate the president-elect's favor and persuade him to maintain support for Ukraine in its defense against Russia's 3-year invasion. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment.
In a world where your potential isn't limited by your bank account, where your financial dreams can become reality, that world is here with the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation scheme, Credico. Credico is one of President Tinubu's initiatives designed to put the power of consumer credit in the hands of working Nigerians. Here to help you achieve your goals, whether it's providing for your family or expanding your home or business. Visit www.credico.ng today for details. This is the renewed hope.
Welcome back. Niger's government is seeking to reshape the narrative of its colonial history with France. And in keeping with this commitment, it has established a committee of local academics responsible for writing the general history of the country.
Niger's leader, General Abdurrahmane Tiani, issued a decree in November to form a committee in charge of rewriting the country's history. The committee comprises Nigerian academics and historians, inviting collaboration from specialists nationwide to create a unified historical narrative.
It's true that there are already good books, and we are going to use them too. Unfortunately, up to now, we have been writing our history with colonialists. It's like we are writing it for others. The decree issued by the president states that ways and means must be explored to involve the population in this project.
The project emphasizes the importance of updating historical texts for the benefit of future generations. Educators say schools lack a dedicated publication on the nation's history.
Current books do not reflect the history of our country, because in terms of education, for example, pupils and students study foreign works. However, if you do not have any knowledge about your country, it becomes impossible to defend it validly.
Nigerians have welcomed the project. They say the current presentation of the country's past is erroneous and does not reflect a reality.
We have been waiting for this project for a long time. It is important to know our true history. Many aspects of our story have been erased or intentionally omitted.
All skills will have to be used because it is not an easy job. This requires going to the remote areas of this country and meeting the knowledgeable people to gather the right information.
In October, the government renamed streets and monuments that honored French personalities, replacing them with African names.
In other news, the Kano Durbar has been inscribed on the UNESCO representative list of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity at the 19th session of the Intergovernmental Committee for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage in Paraguay. The Kano Durbar, one of Nigeria's most iconic cultural festivals, which is a spectacular display of pageantry, tradition, and unity, is rooted in centuries-old Hausa Fulani heritage. The festival, marked by royal processions, vibrant equestrian parades, traditional music, and breathtaking attire, is held annually during Eid celebrations, symbolizing community cohesion, cultural pride, and the preservation of Nigeria's rich history. UNESCO says the inscription is not just a recognition of Kano's cultural legacy, but also a testament to the global significance of Nigeria's diverse heritage. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, says it's treated over 1,000 petitions from Nigerians in the diaspora in the last 5 years, ranging from emergencies, being stranded, consular trafficking, and deportation issues. The Commission also recorded increase in diaspora investments in the country. Chairman of the Commission, Abike Dabirierewa, disclosed that this at the Commission's 5th anniversary in Abuja. Deborah Balagbobo reports.
The anniversary jubilee is a double-barreled one to also mark the end of the year, reflecting on the Commission's performance and significant contributions towards Nigerians' development in the last half-decade. The NIDCOM boss, Abike Dabirierewa, highlights the progress made since the Commission's inception in May 2019. She lauded the NIDCOM team, past and present, for their unwavering commitment and sacrifices.
Hard work pays, and that you are even a part of this success story is a great thing. So let me just thank all of you. Look forward to a greater year ahead, a better year financially, and by the grace of God, we continue to grow from strength to strength.
That the law passed by the Nigerian Parliament to establish the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission was signed into law in 2017. The actual takeoff came with the confirmation of the pioneer chairman, CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabirierewa, on 10th May 2019.
Awards and prizes were presented to staffs who performed optimally.
By the time the government begin to put interest in diaspora issues, if we encourage the diaspora to invest, not just sending remittances, you invest where you, the investor, will benefit. You see that things will be better for this country.
Diaspora engagement is a new phenomenon in Nigeria, and by the time we are celebrating 10 years, we believe things will have been better. Our diaspora community will have had more. The trust deficit that has always been there with the government will have been eradicated.
They promise to work hard with top management to find better ways to add value in building up the commission. In Abuja, Deborah Balagobo, NTA News.
Made in Nigeria products are being identified as highly competitive in the global markets, but are facing some challenges, including packaging and standardization. Kenneth Nanim reports that the state coordinators of Made in Nigeria project from states are in Abuja to mainstream collaborative efforts to promote patronage of indigenous products and services.
Coordinators of Made in Nigeria products and services project from across the country converged on Abuja to champion strategies in line with global best practices that will continually sustain Made in Nigeria products and services on the shelves of global markets. How best to foster effective collaboration amongst stakeholders, improve innovation, capacity building, as well as identify areas of improvement and ensure implementation of action plans are also top on agenda.
We need to do more in packaging our products. If we want the outside world to buy into what we are doing, we have to make sure that there's no shortcut to it. We make sure that we follow the standard operation procedures so we can be able to give the best.
We are the ones causing trouble for ourselves because we report ourselves badly. This program is coming at a time that the federal government is trying to restructure the revenue and taxes. This gives us opportunity as a nation to look inward to see what we can do at each state and local government level.
The organizers are also considering ways of stimulating economic growth through job creation and foster partnerships between Nigerian businesses and the international organizations. The coordinators at the end of this conference are expected to galvanize action to create awareness, carry out advocacies to track progress and impacts, especially in the rural communities. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The federal government has reaffirmed commitments to enhancing and fast-tracking work on Nigerian roads. Minister of Works David Umahi gave the assurance when he received the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala, with a team at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. In a statement by the Director Press, Mohammed Ahmed, the Minister, while welcoming the monitoring team, took them through the services being rendered by the ministry and processes involved before these services become visible and appreciable to the public. According to him, roads are a critical infrastructure that cannot be overlooked and will continue to be among the top priority areas of President Tinubu's agenda. The Presidential Special Advisor on Policy Coordination reiterated that her team will be engaging with the ministry's officials by way of monitoring performance within the first and second quarters of 2025. She also said evaluation will help sort out better ways of enhancing and fast-tracking work on Nigerian roads geared towards the actualization of the renewed hope deliverables. The People's Democratic Party has demanded that the Independent National Electoral Commission immediately commences the process of conducting a fresh election to fill Ethiop Federal Constituency seat of Delta State in the House of Representatives, which automatically became vacant by reason of the defection of Erhiatake Iboris Wenu to the All Progressives Congress. The party's National Publicity Secretary Debo Olugunagba, in a statement, explained that it is settled in law that by her defection from the PDP, the political party platform upon which she was elected into the House of Representatives, Iboris Wenu willfully vacated the Ethiop East, Ethiop West Federal Constituency seat, thus rendering it vacant by virtue of the self-executory provision of Section 68 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Next is Sunday's weather forecast for Nigeria and other world cities. this is where we conclude the news on NTA International. Many thanks for watching. I am Dennis Degunloye. Minister of Information and National Orientation